higher costs for higher learning. According to a report from the College Board, loan borrowing is down, but tuition costs, they just keep ticking higher. With more on this, Caleb Bonham, editor-in-chief of campusreform.org. Caleb, welcome back to the show. So why are these prices still going up?
Well, that is a good question. There's a variety of different ways you can look at this, but I think no matter how you see it, it's hurting college students.
Yeah.
You're seeing that inflation in the country is 1.7%. But we are seeing an increase in tuition costs and associated student fees increasing at a rate of 2.9% to 3.7%. So no matter how you look at it, students are on the wrong side of this equation.
All right, let's go over some of these numbers. So you're looking at a full screen right now. Public four-year colleges, average tuition and fees over $9,000. That's up almost 3% from last year. Let's take a look at full out-of-state students. If you're going to a school out of state, your prices are up 3.3%. And finally, private colleges also up 3.3%. I mean, I got to tell you, 3.7. Okay, at private four-year colleges. These numbers are going up. They're going higher. Students are graduating with $30,000 in college debt on average, $5,000 in credit card debt. This is just unsustainable. What needs to happen?
Well, it is a bubble, and it is going to burst. Honestly, what needs to happen is students need to, and you said earlier in the intro, need to reevaluate their priorities when it comes to higher education. Decreased borrowing, as you said, is down. Borrowing is decreasing. But they also need to make wise choices as to staying in their financial lane and figuring out what they can or cannot afford with the increased costs in higher education. And ultimately,
I think some of that's happening. I mean, yeah. I really do. I think people are getting smart. It didn't take long. You mentioned that loan borrowing is down, and I think it's because people are realizing they can't afford to pay back these huge loans. There's a crackdown on for-profit colleges going on that's keeping people out of the expensive for-profit colleges. More people are commuting, right? People are finding solutions to this bubble in college prices. And I got to tell you, the first college president to come out and say, I'm cutting prices and I'm trying to get more people in the door is going to be rewarded with a lot of applications, in my view.
Exactly, and noticing the trend, at the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform, like you said, we're hearing from students all across the country that are saying that they're starting to live at home, take away a little bit of that university experience because they can't afford it. Costs are too high. But there were some striking statistics that we found. Over 80%, 83% of graduates in 2014 graduated without a job lined up. So if they're going to be paying these high costs to go to college, they need to have some sort of career training. They need to have some sort of incentive by the university to ensure that they're going to be able to graduate and pay that debt off so that they don't then turn to the government and expect loan forgiveness.
Well, to your point, 24% of millennials say they think that their loan will ultimately be forgiven. Are they right?
Well, I go back and forth on this one. I think that 24% positively is a very low number of students that think their loan should just be forgiven. That's not a huge percentage of students. However, when I'm traveling the country talking with students on campus, every one of the students thinks that the government does have a role in forgiving student loan debt. And that is a big concern because that goes to a mentality that's not going to be overturned, that they think the right established institution of education, not just an education, but one through a university or college, is a right, and therefore the government should provide it debt-free. And
well, I got to tell you, Caleb, I think the president agrees with them because he's the one extending this debt ad infinitum, and 24%, a quarter of millennials saying they think they're going to get a free ride. To me, that is a big number. But then I'm a taxpayer, so maybe that's why I think that.
It is a big number. It is. That's true.
Caleb, thank you for coming on. Good to see you.
Thank you.